it's your girl, Christy D. Lacey. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are back with part 2 of my journey series with God. And so I'm going to tell you how year 2 went being saved with God. Now we're in 2021, very lukewarm. My church was closed. I was just churching online. I had entered a mentorship. It was really hard for me. I'm not even gonna lie. I was going back and forth whether I wanted to go back into the world. We were constantly going through deliverance. All glory to God. Being in the mentorship, we were able to speak about things that we struggled with. My mentor told us one of the assignments that we had was to record a song. So I ended up recording 2 songs. I got into the studio. Like before, when I was in the world, I was doing music, but I wasn't recording the music. Like I wrote music in the world. So the 2 songs that I ended up writing within the mentorship was Amazing God, and basically it's just talking about what I went through with God and how amazing He was. And then the other song is named Save Me, where He saved me from. And so within the mentorship as well, we had to write a book. Like it wasn't like a specific book that we needed to write about. The book had to be at least 50 pages long. And so if we didn't complete the book by the end of the year, we wouldn't graduate. I ended up writing a memoir of my life. Not my whole life, of course, because I couldn't put my whole life within 50 pages, but it was just pivotal moments. And 2021 was just, I was very lukewarm, but I was still intentional about my relationship with God, but I was lukewarm. Like I said, I started back listening to secular music, drinking liquor, like hard liquor, and I would just have these different moments where I was just like really hearing from God, and then there were moments that I wasn't really hearing from God. When I was still struggling with masturbation, I was still struggling with porn, I was still listening to secular music. I was going back to watching movies that I shouldn't have been watching. And looking back, like just the way I was dressing, you can tell. September is when I really turned away from going back and forth with God. I hated that feeling of being lukewarm. Like I didn't like that feeling. That wasn't something I embraced. That was something that God continued to convict me of. And I was like, I don't want to be like this. Like I want to go back to 2020 when I was really hearing from God and when I was on fire from God. And I ended up joining a church. Well, I was first visiting the church. They didn't have like an actual church. So we were churching like in different buildings and in different people's houses. And so I ended up joining that church. That season of my life, I really learned a lot. I really took away a lot of things. After I joined the church, I pretty much came back on fire for God. Like I ended up making more music. I ended up having like an EP. I made an EP. I ended up graduating from my mentorship. I ended up completing my book. At the beginning of 2021, it was just hard because at the end of 2020, like I said, I pretty much became lukewarm. Like I wasn't reading my Bible, I wasn't praying, doing the basic, like okay, I pray morning, night, and that's it. What I learned about my relationship with God when I wasn't reading my word was when I continued to go back into my old ways. I continued to just give into my flesh. But when I was consistent about reading my Bible, when I was consistently on my face and really just like crying out to God, it was hard for me to sin. It was hard, and not even just like watching porn, listening to secular music and drinking liquor or whatever. Those are bad, but that's sins that you can't even see within your heart. Thinking that I forgave somebody and I didn't forgive somebody. Just dealing with all these things that you can't see on the outside. I felt myself kind of going back into depression too. So it was just like a lot of things that I dealt with. But thank God, by September 2021, I hit my 2-year mark of being abstinent, and I joined the church and I felt great again. Like I felt back on fire again. And that's why the Bible tells us that we should be in community, which means we should be a part of a church. So it's never good to just be isolated. Always be within a godly community. So if this video was helpful for you, go ahead and like, share, comment, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.